Good afternoon from Irvine, California, the Great Park Stadium here in Irvine, California. For today's game, the Orange County Riptide will be hosting the Conejo Oaks in the California Collegiate League game today. The starting lineups for today's game. We'll start with the visiting Conejo Oaks. Leading off, Nico Lima, number 13, left fielder. He is from Oxnard College. He will step into the box and he will face DJ Sartorius. We will get you the lineups for the host Orange County Riptide here in just a moment. Left-hander DJ Sartorius delivers and fouled off 0-1 to start the game. Nico Lima leads off, left fielder out of Oxnard College. Tyler Odekirk, he's a third baseman from Cal State, LA. He will bat second. Jacob Castro, he will be playing first base and is from UC Irvine. DJ Sartorius with the delivery, and it is a ground ball to shortstop from his wallet. Unfortunately, and it actually looks like he beat it out. So unfortunately, Carson Matthews was deep in the hole and was unable to throw out the lead runner, Nico Lima. He reaches base on a base hit. That will bring up Tyler Odekirk, the third baseman out of Cal State, LA. Batting fourth, Ryan Yamashiro. He's the DH. He's out of Cal Lutheran. DJ Sartorius kicks and fires, and inside, pass ball. And that will allow Lima to advance to second base quite easily, as Eric Pagani, the catcher for the Riptide, was unable to hold on to that one. Count 1-0 to Tyler Odekirk. Odekirk shows bunt and fouls it off to the left-hand side, the third base side. Trey Lipscomb, the third baseman out of the University of Tennessee, tosses it into the OC Riptide. Count runs to 1-1. Batting fifth for the Conejo Oaks, Raul Sandoval. He is the center fielder out of Oxnard College. Raul Gomez will be batting sixth. He is the second baseman, also out of Oxnard College. Ready for the pitch from DJ Sartorius. DJ kicks and fires, and it's bunted directly back to the pitcher. Looks back the runner at second base, and is able to deliver a strike to first base, Andre Antone, who is able to record the out. 1 out, runner on second base for the Conejo Oaks. Remainder of the lineup for the Conejo Oaks, Will Pickett, play shortstop. He is out of Cal State Bakersfield. Zach Kamenkow, thank you very much for our pronunciation. He is a catcher out of West Texas A&M. Bring up Jacob Castro, playing first base out of UC Irvine. Takes a ball low, 1-0. Note on Castro is he played in the Prospects game, the California Collegiate League Prospect game, earlier this month, along with Nico Lima, who currently resides on second base. Both of those gentlemen were in the California Collegiate League Prospects game just a few weeks ago. Another delivery from Sartorius is low again, runs the count to 2-0. And then rounding out your Conejo Oaks lineup, we have Trent McKinney. He's the right fielder, and he is currently undecided on his university that he will be attending next season. So Sartorius looks back the runner, and it looks like they got him at second base. So excellent move by DJ Sartorius, and great catch by Carson Matthews. The shortstop looks like he got left hanging there by his second baseman, Blake Fadul. I'm sure he'll get him with a little high five in the dugout. So 2 outs, 2 balls, no strikes to Jacob Castro at the plate. Gets past Trey Lipscomb at third base and rolls into left field. Antonio Cruz, the left fielder, will deliver it in, and it's offline. And then now Castro looks like he will advance to second on the errant throw. So now we have a runner back on second base, but this time with 2 outs, now that Lima was picked off by Sartorius' pick move. Brings up the cleanup man, Ryan Yamashiro. He's the DH from Cal Lutheran. Right-handed batter, so righty on lefty matchup here. We'll get you the defensive lineup here for the Orange County Riptide. Left field, Antonio Cruz out of Rice University. He's wearing number 1 today. DJ kicks and fires, and on the outside edge for strike 1. Mike Peabody out of UC Irvine will be batting in the leadoff spot, but is also in center field. Dylan Rock, right fielder out of University of Texas San Antonio. He'll be batting third today. Outside and low to Yamashiro, and the count evens at 1-1. Your infield lineup for the Orange County Riptide: at third base, Trey Lipscomb, third baseman out of the University of Tennessee. Carson Matthews from BYU, he will hold down the shortstop spot. Sartorius kicks and fires, and it's a pop fly to the first base side foul line, and Andre Antone is under it to make the catch and end the inning. So we have 2 hits, 1 error, but no runs across the plate. You are listening to Orange County Riptide on YouTube. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Orange County Riptide versus the Conejo Oaks California Collegiate League game here on a Thursday. Stepping into the plate is center fielder Michael Peabody out of the University of California, Irvine. He will be facing off with Noah Matera. Kicks and fires, left-hander, a little bit inside, and it's a ball 1. So note on Matera is he is actually an incoming freshman, so hasn't even taken a college course just yet. He is committed to go to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, UNLV. Kicks and fires, and swing and a miss. It'll bring the count to 1-1. The incoming freshman, Matera, came out of Moore Park High School. His senior year 61 innings pitched and had a 1.72 ERA. So quite a prospect for the Runnin' Rebels out there in Las Vegas, which possibly Las Vegas might be tad hotter than we are here today. So the ball is out of the reach of another fellow, unfortunately, out of the reach of the catcher. So it's 99 in Las Vegas. We got the weather report via our weather apps here. So if you can see on our live stream, the flags in dead straightaway center are not moving, so not a lot of airflow out here. But good news is that it's not too humid at all. Left-hander goes outside, and now the count runs to 3-1 to leadoff batter Mike Peabody. So the Riptide are going with a righty-heavy lineup. Peabody, one of the few left-handers in the lineup today. Matera kicks and fires, and that is fouled off to the third base side, out of play, runs the count to full, 3-2. Looking at the Riptide lineup, Michael Peabody playing center field, he will lead off. Trey Lipscomb playing third base, he is out of the University of Tennessee, he'll bat second. Dylan Rock, the right fielder from UT San Antonio, bats third. Andre Antone, first baseman out of UC Irvine, is batting fourth. Kicks and fire from Matera, and it is lifted foul again to the third base side, and we'll do it again, full count. Remainder of the lineup, batting fifth, Max Ferguson is the designated hitter. He's also out of the University of Tennessee. Antonio Cruz, left fielder out of Rice University. He's wearing number 1 today. Eric Bagani is behind the plate. He is also from Nevada, Las Vegas. He will be catching, wearing number 25 and batting 7th. Kicks and fires from Matera, and it is fouled off of Peabody's foot. He goes down at the plate, and it looks like that one hurt him a little bit. So the umpire is going to give Peabody a little bit of time, and head coach Clemente Bonilla is going to come out here and check on his center fielder and leadoff man. Peabody's a pretty tough dude. He's going to walk this off. You're going to need a tow truck to drag him out of that batter's box. So he'll walk it off, which gives us a little bit more time to go down our remainder of our lineup. Batting 8th, Blake Fadul. He's playing second base today, wearing number 6. He's out of Santa Clara University. And then Carson Matthews, shortstop out of BYU, wearing number 5. He will bat 9th. And, of course, on the mound, Devin Sartorius out of Biola is our left-handed pitcher. Escaped the first inning, surrendering just 2 hits, and there was an error on the Riptide. Had a couple of base runners, but nobody crossed the plate. So 3-2 delivery, and up high for ball 4, and Peabody is on with a walk. That'll bring up Trey Lipscomb, third baseman.
University of Tennessee, number 23, Trey Lipscomb.
Trey Lipscomb is listed on the roster as a utility player because he's an all-around athlete. He can play multiple positions in the field, and he can also pitch. So quite an asset for the Orange County Riptide to be able to get him from the University of Tennessee for just the summer. So the right-handed batter Lipscomb looks in, and he takes a ball right about the knees for strike 1. 2 University of Tennessee players on the roster this year for the Riptide. Riptide have a great relationship with the coaching staff out there in Knoxville, and it seems like we get quite a few players here. Caught Peabody leaning just a tad, but he was able to use his speed to get back to the bag in time. The left-hander for the Conejo Oaks has a little bit of an advantage, obviously being left-handed. He can stare directly at first base and see exactly when the runner is moving. Kicks and fires and fouled directly back to the screen, and the count is 0-2 to Trey Lipscomb, who steps out of the box, must collect himself a little bit. Riptide actually had a University of Tennessee volunteer player on the roster last year as well, catcher Landon Gray. He split time with Connor Pavoloni, who is currently playing for the Santa Barbara Foresters this summer as well. So a lot of volunteers come out to California. Fouled off to the right field side, thankfully caught by the screen. We do have a number of kids in attendance today. Earlier today was the completion of the Orange County Riptide Skills Camp that a number of the players were instructors for. So we had about 25 kids came out and we're getting instructions from the Riptide players. Matera delivers, and it's fouled off again. So no balls, but 4 pitches have been delivered to Lipscomb, and they've all been strikes. 2 foul balls. The other group of kids that we have in is from one of the day camps from UC Irvine, and they're sitting over on the first base side. So you might hear a roar come up for any of the UC Irvine players, Andre Antone and, of course, Michael Peabody, who currently resides on first base, when they come up to the plate. Dylan Rock on deck, but the count currently sits 0-2, pardon me, with no outs, and a pitch back to first base. Checks on Peabody, who is in easily. So you got 2 anteaters residing over at first base. Jacob Castro from UC Irvine and Peabody also from Irvine. So you probably might have seen on your screen a little playful shoving back and forth once he was checked back. Kicks and fires, and inside corner. Trey Lipscomb caught looking. 1 out. No score here in the bottom of the first inning.
UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
That'll bring up Dylan Rock. He's going to be a junior at the University of Texas San Antonio. Dylan had himself a pretty good night last night with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. He killed a ball to the left field over the wall, about 3/4 of the way up the field. Peabody goes, pitch inside, pitches offline, and Peabody is in second base easily for another one of his stolen bases. So that series couldn't have gone any better. Rock takes an inside pitch for a ball. Peabody is able to steal second easily. So now with 1 out, we have a man in scoring position with one of our better hitters, the number 3 hole hitter, Dylan Rock, coming to the plate. Last night we mentioned that he did have the home run in the bottom of the first to run the score 1-0. Pitches inside a little bit, sawed off, and it looks like the second baseman, Gomez, will record the second out. Peabody back safely to second base, and there is 2 outs. No score here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting from UC Irvine, number 30, Andre Antone.
So you'll probably hear the kids over there screaming for Andre Antone. He is the UC Irvine first baseman. And speaking of UC Irvine, that swipe bag, that stolen base for Michael Peabody is his 18th stolen bag of the summer. So definitely a lot of speed there at the leadoff spot for sure. Strike on the outside corner for Andre Antone. Count 0-1 with 2 outs to the first baseman, Andre Antone, out of UC Irvine. Peabody with a decent lead off of second base and not really being held on all that much. Fouled straight back to the screen, and the count runs to 0-2. Andre Antone, a pretty big dude, about 6'4", 200-plus pounds. Surprisingly fast for a big man in the fact that Antone was at the prospects game and a number of major league scouts were there, had timing devices to see how fast they can run the 60. And Andre actually had one of the faster times for the Riptide. Roped to the first baseman, however, the pitcher, Matera, will cover first base and record the third out of the inning. That will bring no score after one complete. We'll see you on the next side.
No run, no hits, no.
Welcome back to the top of the second inning. OC Riptide hosting the Conejo Oaks here in a California Collegiate League game here in Irvine, California at the Great Park Stadium. Devin Sartorius, left-hander on the mound, delivers, and it is popped foul to the right field side and out of play, 0-1. Coming up this inning for the Conejo Oaks, Raul Sandoval, center fielder out of Oxnard, followed by another Oxnard college teammate, Raul Gomez, playing second base. And batting third this inning, Will Pickett's, the shortstop out of Bakersfield. That's a line drive to center field. Peabody has a beat on it. Don't know if he trapped it or not. But it looks like, unfortunately, the umpire is a little bit confused here, and they're calling it an out. The way the players are reacting, that looked like the outfielder celebration where so he's out. So Michael Peabody makes a great play on that ball. And Peabody records the first out of the inning, which will bring up Raul Gomez, second baseman out of Oxnard College. First ball from Devin Sartorius is a ball. It was low and a little bit in the dirt. Setting the defensive lineup for the Orange County Riptide, left field, Antonio Cruz, center field, Mike Peabody. Outside and high, ball two. Next pitch from Sartorius is also high. That'll run the count to 3-0 with one out. Dylan Rock is in right field. That's a strike right down the middle, taking all the way. Gomez takes all the way, runs the count to 3-1. So Dylan Rock in right field, Andre Antone at first. Outside corner for strike two, runs the count to full. Blake Fadul at second base, Carson Matthews shortstop, Ferguson at third base, behind the plate Bagani and DJ Sartorius on the mound. Delivery fouled right field side, and we'll do it all again at the full count. Sartorius is the leader in innings pitched for the Riptide this summer. He has 35 and a third innings. He has a 4.08 ERA with 27 strikeouts and 10 walks on the season. One of the main reasons why we have so many kids in the park today is not only from the kids camp from both UC Irvine and the Riptide Skills Camp. Delivery from Sartoris has popped up. Looks like it's possibly going to be Dylan Rock, who settles under it easily. Can of corn, 2 away.
How about number 6, Will Pickett?
That'll bring up Will Pickett's the shortstop out of Cal State Bakersfield. DJ Sartorius does a lot of work here in the Orange County community. He is a coach and mentor for a youth baseball club, so quite a number of them are in the ballpark as well. Delivery from Sartorius is at the knees and outside corner. That's strike 1. So if Pickett is able to get on, it'll bring up Zach Kamenkow. Hopefully I said that correctly. Apologies to anybody from the Kamenkow family if I mispronounced that. But you should see how it's spelled. Outside and high. And the count runs to 1-1. Kamenkow in on deck. He's from West Texas A&M. He's also the catcher. Has his gear on. Pitch runs inside and low. Makes it 2-1. So with 2 outs and a man at the plate, catcher on deck, he's going to keep his shin guards on just in case the 3rd out is recorded. That runs inside, and now we've got a count of 3-1. Sartorius kicks and fires and swung on and popped up. It looks like it's going to stay in play. Trey Lipscomb settles under it and catches it in foul territory for the 3rd out. So coming up in the bottom of the 2nd, Max Ferguson, Antonio Cruz, and Eric Bagani will lead off the bottom of the 2nd. We'll see you back here in just a few.
Now batting for the University of Tennessee, number 3, Max Ferguson.
Welcome back to Orange County Great Park. Great Park Stadium here in Irvine. Coming to the plate, left-handed hitter, one of the few left-handed hitters in the Orange County Riptide lineup today, Max Ferguson out of the University of Tennessee. Outside corner for strike 1 out of the hand of left-hander Matera for the Conejo Oaks. Max Ferguson infielder, second baseman, outfielder. That pitch runs inside, and the count evens to 1-1. Ferguson will be a sophomore once the 2020 college baseball season starts back up. Matera kicks and fires well outside. That's ball 2. So with the Riptide, Ferguson is batting .225. He's got 4 RBIs and 48 plate appearances. Delivery and swung on, and it goes to the gap. That looks like it might elude the outfielders and gets past them. And Ferguson is going to be in easily with a stand-up double. So a leadoff double for Ferguson. Just completed his freshman year at the University of Tennessee.
Number 1, Antonio Cruz.
Brings up another freshman. Well, actually, he's going to be a sophomore out of Rice University, Antonio Cruz. And because it's a nice sunny day, you can probably see Antonio's shoes a lot better than at the night games. So you can probably tell if the umpire moves just a tad. Antonio Cruz with some spiffy shoes, let me tell you. Kicks and fires from Matera, and that is outside, ball 1 to Cruz. Cruz primarily plays left field, but he is an outfielder. He is versatile. He could play other positions, but left field seems to be where he is settled in at. Currently batting .236. Fouled back directly to the screen. Evens the count to 1-1. So Cruz is finally got off the home run schneid last night. Actually had a 2 RBI home run against the Academy Barons. And you should have seen the reaction from the Riptide dugout. Couldn't have been happier for one of the nicer, more fun guys on the team, for sure. Kicks and fire from Matera, swing and miss. And now the count is 1-2. One and two the count. No outs with Ferguson on second. Nice leadoff and a swing and a miss. Swung right through it. And that's a strikeout for Matera.
Now batting from UNLV, number 25, Eric Begani.
That'll bring up Eric Begani out of UNLV. Begani was here with the Riptide earlier in the season. Took a quick break, actually spent some time in the Cape Cod League for a little bit, and then came back out to finish the season here with the Riptide. Begani steps in with a man on second, and it looks like Ferguson is hung out to dry. We got ourselves a rundown. And he's tagged out, trying to go to second base, and 2 away before Begani even sees a pitch out of Matera's hand. So Begani awaits the pitch from Matera, kicks and fires and swings and misses. Strike 1. So the team that Begani was playing for while out in the Cape Cod League was the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, one of the traditional Cape Cod Leagues teams. That's straight up the middle. Could drop in for a base hit, but right into the glove of the center fielder. Sandoval will end the inning for the Riptide. Although they did get their first hit of the game, nobody left on base. We'll take a break and head to the top of the third. Welcome back to Orange County Great Park here in Irvine. Coming up to the plate for the Conejo Oaks, Zach Kamenko. Big shout out to our PA announcer, Joseph. Kicks and fires from DJ Sartorius. A little bit inside for a ball. So apologies for mispronouncing the name. Here in summer ball, you don't quite get the pronunciation guide from the sports information director from the other team because there's really no sports information director. Swung on and popped up. It looks like it could be trouble for potential Peabody, who lays out again, and it is another out. So Michael Peabody has actually made 2 running catches in the shallow infield and have recorded the out both times. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Trent McKinney. He's a right fielder. Currently is undecided on where he wants to play his college ball next season. So with 1 out, left-hander DJ Sartorius delivers a little bit high, and that is ball 1. One of the unique things about summer ball in general, not necessarily the California Collegiate League, but playing summer ball, as we wait for Sartorius' next pitch. Sartorius kicks and fires, and it goes directly to the Oaks dugout. Leadoff man Nico Lina had to duck to get out of the way of that. One of the unique things about summer ball is players that are coming out of junior college, particularly, haven't chosen a school, haven't been recruited much yet. They can show off their wares and hopefully get picked up by a college and finish out their year. Swung on and fouled directly back to the screen. McKinney's got a count of 1-2. Here on the Riptide, we do have a number of players that were undecided, uncommitted to schools, most notably Tyler Booth, the left-handed pitcher. And that is a strikeout looking for DJ Sartorius on Trent McKinney. I believe that's DJ's second strikeout of the day. So that'll turn the lineup over. Brings up Nico Lima, the left fielder out of Oxnard College. On the uncommitted note, player like Tyler Booth out of LSU Eunice, looking for a school, swung on and chopped foul to the third base side. One of the success stories, speaking of uncommitted players, was Merrick Krause, the flame-throwing pitcher, who originally attended USC, had an injury, sat out, was uncommitted, was looking for a potential school or a major league club to pick him up. Sartorius delivers a little high and outside, and the count evens up 1-1. But Krause, this past Sunday, was pitching professionally after being spotted in the prospects game a week or so ago. Swung on directly into center field, but that will drop in front of Michael Peabody for a lazy single. And Lima is on for the 3rd hit of the day for the Conejo Oaks.
How about number 14, Tyler Oaker?
Brings up the number 2 hole hitter, Tyler Odekirk. He is the 3rd baseman out of Cal State LA. So continuing on with the Merrick Krause, was able to command his fastball and his slider out there at the prospects game, and because he is draft eligible, he's 3 to 4 years beyond his high school year, runner goes and the throw is offline, and Lima has himself a stolen base easily on the Riptide. Man in scoring position.
I didn't see it.
So everybody up here in the box was looking at the runner and did not see if it was called a ball or a strike, but our scoreboard operator, Don, is going to call it a ball, and we'll see if we get corrected. So Sartorius kicks and fires, and that is chopped to the third base side where Trey Lipscomb boots it just a bit, and everybody is safe. So Lima goes to third base, and Odekirk will reach on that error.
Now by number 24, Jacob Castro.
So with 2 outs, 2 men on, runners at the corner, Lima at third and Odekirk at first, brings up Jacob Castro, the first baseman from UC Irvine. Sartorius steps off the rubber to check the runner back. However, Odekirk just stands up straight, doesn't even go back to touch the bag at all. Sartorius checks the runner back at first base, back safe easily. So Merrick Krause was spotted at the Prospects game, throwing in the mid-90s, and was able to locate his off-speed stuff, particularly his slider. Sartorius checks the runner again, safe. After the game, was approached by one of the scouts in attendance, and it was an Atlanta Braves scout, and said that it was going to be, his talents were going to be something he wanted to send up the ladder over there to Atlanta. Sartorius delivers, and it's an outside corner strike, 0-1. So it happened just that fast to the point where Wednesday night he was pitching in a Prospect game. Pickoff move, unfortunately, Sartorius threw that one in the dirt, and Antone wasn't able to field it cleanly to be able to potentially tag the runner out. Sartorius sets again. Delivers and swung on and fouled left side. No balls, 2 strikes. So after the Prospects game, after speaking with the Atlanta Braves scout, especially since Atlanta is 3 hours ahead, Krause was contacted the next morning saying, all the bigwigs out there in Atlanta liked what the scout had seen, and they were going to be sending over a contract. Sartorius kicks and fires, pitch out. Pagani fields it cleanly, but ball 1. So the Riptide were actually playing a CCL game at the Academy Barons over there in Compton, California, at the MLB Academy, and waiting for him when the team arrived, waiting for Krause, pitch back, runner back easily, was the scout from the Atlanta Braves with a contract in hand. And at that point in time, Merrick Krause's time as an OC Riptide member came to a close. Swung on and missed directly back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. But from that point forward, every one of the Riptide were extremely excited that Merrick Krause was able to live the dream, go on and play in professional baseball. And Merrick stuck around and was a member of the team despite not being able to participate because the Atlanta Braves had shut him down. Back up the middle, and that will score the first run of the game for the Conejo Oaks. Coming in easily, Nico Lima. And Jacob Castro has himself an RBI single.
How about number 32, Ryan Yamashiro?
So a 2-out nightmare here for the little 2-out rally for the Conejo Oaks. So Sartorius gives up his first run of the game. Righty on lefty. Left-hander kicks and fires, and that is in there for strike 1. But the remaining games before Merrick Krause actually left to go out to play for the Danville Braves, I believe that's in Danville, Iowa. But before he left, he actually stayed with the team. That ball is insided in the dirt for ball 1. Continued to go on the road Actually went on road trips with the team and stuck around until he actually got on an airplane and flew out. But Merrick was one of the better players, obviously, by being able to sign a professional contract. But being an uncommitted player and being draft eligible, swung on and out of play. That's actually out of the stadium to the right field side. And the count remains 1-2. So cool story for Merrick Krause to be able to come out here, return to the love of baseball, and actually achieve the dream of going and playing professionally. DJ checks the runners back, and both runners retreat. So if Sartorius can minimize the damage here and get out of this inning with just one run and strand two runners, that's fouled off. Exact same side, right field side, out of play and out of the stadium. That's a perfect ball for the reason why I parked my car very far away from the stadium. So Ryan Yamashiro, designated hitter out of Cal Lutheran. Can't get much closer than Cal Lutheran for the Conejo Oaks because they actually play their games at the Cal Lutheran field. That ball's inside. Yamashiro asked if he was able to take first base because it hit him, but umpire wasn't having it. So the count goes 2-2 with 2 outs. Sartorius inside, check back, and strike 3. Doesn't matter. The kick throw to first base would not have mattered. Punch out, strike 3 looking. Third strikeout for DJ Sartorius. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the bottom of the third with the OC Riptide batting. Welcome to the bottom of the third inning here at Great Park in Irvine, the Great Park Stadium. Coming to the plate, Blake Fadul out of Santa Clara University. Matera still in the game, still early. Left-hander kicks and fires for ball 1. Fadul was a little bit of a latecomer, did not start the season with the Riptide, but as it is with summer ball, outside pitch, 2-0 to Blake Fadul, the number 8 hitter. So Fadul arrived a little bit later in the season. He's currently batting 200. Will be a sophomore next year for Santa Clara. Well outside, that's ball 3. 3-0 to Blake Fadul. Fadul's best game actually came against this same Conejo Oaks. He went 3 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs back on the 19th of June. Pitches inside on the inside corner for strike one. Fadul was taking all the way on that 3-0 pitch. On deck, Carson Matthews kicks and fires and fouled directly back. Count runs to full. No outs. Score currently 1-0 in favor of the Conejo Oaks, after DJ Sartorius last inning was able to give 2 outs, but they weren't able to record the last out before a run crossed the plate. Inside pitch, Fadul takes it to the left side, and the first baseman is unable to pick it and hold it, so Fadul will be on with a error.
Now batting from BYU, number 5, Carson Matthews.
Carson Matthews, the number 9 hitter, wearing number 5 out of Brigham Young University. Matthews was one of the other prospect players for the OC Riptide. The game was held back on July 10th. Fadul takes off and throw down, and it looks like Fadul will be in there for a stolen base. Unfortunately for Matthews, that's a strike. Matthews completed his freshman year at BYU last spring. Will be a sophomore when the Cougars start up play next year. That's a ball that's high. And the count is 1-1. Matthews playing shortstop today. Made an excellent throw in the first inning to record it out. Outside corner. And the count runs to 1-2. Excellent opportunity here for Carson Matthews with a man in scoring position. Matera, the left-hander, kicks and fires, and high is the count to 2-2. So if Matthews is able to convert on this one, it will not be an earned run for Matera because Fadul reached on the error. That keeps that minuscule ERA intact for Matera. Look back to Fadul at second base. Pitch delivered inside to Matthews. Full count. 3-2, no outs. So with no outs here in the bottom of the third, full count to Carson Matthews at the plate. Conejo Oaks, 1 run, 4 hits, and an error. Riptide, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors. As Matera wants to check Fadul back to the base. Shortstop Pickett's was coming behind, but Fadul was able to get back without a throw. On deck, Mike Peabody, UC Irvine, playing center field today. Matera kicks and fires, pops up, looks like it might stay inside the yard, but goes right directly into the Oaks bullpen. No harm, no foul. We'll do it again. Full count. Matthews has picked up a bat quite frequently for the Riptide this year. 117 plate appearances for Matthews. Currently batting .248. wearing a Riptide uniform. Matera's ready, delivers, and ripped foul. Third base line. And it will lazily roll to the warning track. So we might have ourselves a little bit of a delay with a ball in play. And no one has gone out there to get it. But it's summer ball, and the umpire is apparently not going to worry about it. 3-2. Delivery from Matera. And swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Matthews. Brings up the top of the lineup, Mike Peabody, with one out.
From UC Irvine, number 36, Michael Peabody.
In the first inning, we were actually treated to Peabody's speed. Led off the inning with a walk and stole a base. That pitch is in there and high for ball one. So Peabody, one of the other prospects. I believe the Riptide had a grand total of 8 or 9 prospects play in that July 10th prospects game out there at the MLB Academy. Fadul, and could have gone into center field. Had Pickett's not snagged that one and prevented some disaster for the Oaks, allowing Fadul to advance to second. But Fadul will stay on second, with Peabody with a 1-0 count. Outside corner, I'll be 1-1. 1 strike, 1 ball, and 1 out. And we're 1 minute past 1 o'clock. Trey Lipscomb on deck. Matera kicks, fires directly back to the screen, foul ball. And count is 1-2. So a number of the players have actually commented that Peabody's batting stance, his body stature, his build, and actually his facial structure looks a lot like Cody Bellinger. Left-hander fires it back to the screen. So our PA announcer, big Dodgers guy, and apparently I just confirmed that what he was seeing and the doppelganger, Peabody and Bellinger, striking resemblance. 1-2, 1 out to Peabody. Matera looks in and delivers and fouled directly back. 1-2.
I might push it a little bit further that his swing, even though his stance is the same, the swing is like Bellinger-like.
So Peabody does have quite a bit of bat speed. He has that whippy type swing. He can really get the barrel out on the ball. He does have power. He does have speed. I'm guessing if you're going to be compared to a major league player, there are worse guys than Cody Bellinger to be compared to. Matera kicks and fires, and right directly to the right fielder. Looks like it was a skip into the glove, and that's a single for Peabody. Now puts Fadul on at third base with 1 out.
Now batting from the University of Tennessee, number 23, Trey Lipscomb.
Brings up third baseman Trey Lipscomb out of University of Tennessee. Today in batting practice, when Lipscomb was in the cage and head coach Clemente Bonilla was throwing the batting practice, a number of fly balls for Trey Lipscomb, and each one was in an area deep of the park where Coach Clemente would say, that's a sac fly all day. So here he steps in with a sac fly opportunity. But it's fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Going back to our Major League comparisons, Ryan Farron passes me a note and says, yeah, there's worse guys that you could be compared to other than Cody Bellinger. First one that leaps to mind would be Chris Davis of the Orioles. That's fought off with Peabody attempting to steal second. I actually heard that the Baltimore Transit Authority was actually painting Chris Davis's face on the sides of buses so that they wouldn't get hit. So with one out, man on third, man on first, this is an outstanding opportunity for the Riptide to be able to swipe an extra base. Lipscomb steps in with an 0-2 count. Matera delivers, and it's fouled back. Reason why I say this is an excellent opportunity for them to gain a base is with one out, you would easily sacrifice the runner Peabody and have him get thrown out at first, because the amount of time that it would take for the catcher to throw to second to throw out Peabody would easily allow Fadul to score. So now they're going to try to come home, and that will score one. And Peabody he avoids the tag, and now he's back safe. He originally thought he was tagged out. The umpire said he was safe, had failed to reach the tag. However, I don't know if I'm a Nostradamus and I predicted that one, but they traded the out in order to get the run across. 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes to Trey Lipscomb. Bases are clear. Good news is the Riptide were able to scratch across a run. Game tied, 1-1. So Lipscomb back to work. Matera, the left-hander, incoming freshman, expected to arrive at UNLV, delivers, and that ball is high for ball 1. If Lipscomb is able to get on base, that'll bring up the 3-hole hitter, Dylan Rock. Inside, and Trey Lipscomb had to skip out of the way of that one to avoid getting hit. So Matera, left-handed pitcher, delivers high and outside. So after going 0-2 on Lipscomb, count runs full and is now in jeopardy of walking pretty speedy Lipscomb and putting him on first base to bring up Dylan Rock. Delivery and chopped up the middle to the shortstop Pickets, who will deliver over to Castro in time, and that will end the inning. But the good news is game tied at 1-1. Oaks have 4 hits and 1 error. Riptide have 1 hit, one run, 2 hits, and 2 errors. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to Irvine Great Park, the Great Park Stadium. DJ Sartorius' first pitch, chopped of Blake Fadul on to Andre Antone, will retire Raul Sandoval for the first out. One pitch, one out. Bring up Raul Gomez, second baseman from Oxnard. Sartorius entering his fourth inning of play. That pitch is fouled off to the right side and out of play for strike one. Sartorius is the innings leader for the Orange County Riptide. He is a senior, so he has a number of miles on that arm, but he's conditioned to be able to take it. Don't know if Montero will be returning for the bottom of the fourth because in the Conejo Oaks bullpen fouled off to the right side, and count runs to 0-2 with one out. Chris Torres currently warming in the Conejo Oaks bullpen. Not 100% sure if we're going to be able to see Montero come back out for the bottom of the fourth. Sartorius comes high, and that's ball one. Delivery higher than the last one now. Ball two. Count even to 2-2 with one out. Score tied 1-1. Both the Oaks and the Riptide scored their single run in the third inning. Sartorius ready for the sign and fires and chop to Trey Lipscomb across the diamond to Andre Antone, who applies the tag. Was pulled off the bag, but was right in front of the runner. So the tag on Gomez brings it to 2 outs. Brings up shortstop Will Pickett out of Cal State Bakersfield. Sartorius delivers inside corner. Strike one. Sartorius' next pitch is swung on and miss. It was off the plate, but Pickett swung at it and essentially swung at ball one. Sartorius, a fast worker, delivers very close to hitting him, but definitely a ball. Ball one. So the games move quite quickly when Sartorius is on the mound. Ready, kicks and fires, and that is third base side. And some of the kids playing out there in the grass found themselves a ball. We always ask people to return the foul balls. Obviously, being summer league, budgets are a little bit different than those major league clubs where they hand out balls like it's Halloween candy. Lipscomb to his left, digs it out, over to Andre Antone for out number 3. A nice 1-2-3 inning for DJ Sartorius to close out the top of the fourth. We'll be back in just a moment with the bottom of the fourth with the Riptide batting.
from UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
Welcome back to Orange County Great Park, here at the Great Park Stadium in Irvine, California. Leading off the bottom of the fourth, Dylan Rock will be a junior at UT San Antonio to start the school year. Swing and a miss for the first offering from Matera, who's still in the game. And 0-1 to Dylan Rock. Matera has his sign. Delivers and skips the ball in front of first home plate for ball one. So if you're just joining us, when Dylan Rock came up for his first plate appearance in the first inning, we told you about his first inning home run last night against the Academy Barons. Pitch from Matera is high for ball two. So Rock had a 2-out home run solo shot to give the Riptide the lead. Delivery from Matera straight up the middle, could be trouble for the second baseman Gomez, and Dylan Rock is on with a ground ball single. I'm sure we'll see Dylan Rock at least 2 or 3 more times.
Number 30, Andre Antone.
So we'll be able to tell you what Dylan did last night and maybe fill in the blanks on what happened on the mound last night as well. Brings up Andre Antone with no outs. Dylan Rock on first base. Andre Antone out of UC Irvine playing first base today. Sometimes does play third and also pitches. Ball is lined directly into center. Shortstop Pickets is able to get under it. And Andre Antone is retired. Brings up
From the University of Tennessee, number 3, Max Ferguson.
So the designated hitter today is Max Ferguson out of the University of Tennessee. You can see on his cleats, his spikes, he has that volunteer orange. Obviously shoes he wore last year in Knoxville. Up high for ball one to Ferguson with Dylan Rock on at first base. Two promising volunteers here for the Riptide. Both Ferguson and Lipscomb completed their freshman year. Delivery from Matera is popped directly up into the infield, and it looks like second baseman Gomez is going to get underneath it to record out number 2. And Dylan Rock makes his way to first base.
Now batting from Rice University, number 1, Antonio Cruz.
So Antonio Cruz out of Rice. We did mention that Cruz did have the home run last night. Here goes Dylan Rock. Pitches high, and it is offline, and he is in there safe with a headfirst slide. And just wanted to let you know, my wife has laundry tonight. The reason why we say that is because Dylan Rock is one of the hosted players that's currently living with us, along with Justin Lewis, the left-handed pitcher out of Texas Tech. Matera pitches and fires outside, ball 2. So Lewis, being a pitcher, doesn't get dirty all that often. Rock, being a base-stealing right fielder, batting third. Quite a bit of laundry. Actually made a run to one of the warehouse stores and had to pick up a stain fighter box. That pitch is high for ball 3. So Jessica, get the washer warmed up. Dylan Rock's coming home with a dirty uniform again. So it's 3-0, 2 outs. Dylan Rock in scoring position at second base with Antonio Cruz at the plate. Matera kicks and fires, swung right through that. And Antonio Cruz has his first strike. Matera checks Rock and delivers, and the ball is inside at Cruz's knees. And he did check his swing, and he advances to second. So runner on second, Dylan Rock.
Now that from UNLV, number 25, Eric Begani.
And runner on first, Antonio Cruz out of Rice University. So UNLV catcher Eric Begani will come to the plate. But it looks like we've got a little bit of a mound visit here for the Conejo Oaks. Don't know if Matera is going to get the hook here. Being a young guy and going to enter his freshman year, he very well, this late in the season, have a pitch count. But it looks like the coach is going to allow him to try to get that third out and complete the inning. But it might be a short leash, depending on what his innings look like for the summer. And also you've got to work hand in hand with the coaching staffs of the respective universities that these young men are committed to. You don't want to burn out an arm or put too much stress on a player during the course of the summer league so that they're ineffective for their college season. So Matera stays in the game. Will face Eric Begani. Delivery is in there for a strike. 0-1. Next delivery is stroked into left field, but that will be directly to left fielder Lima, who records that third out for Matera. Looks like Matera may not return for the 5th, but we'll have to double check on that one. But 2 men stranded. We'll go to the top of the 5th. Score tied 1-0 here at Orange County Great Park. Welcome back here to Great Park Stadium here in Irvine, California, here at the Great Park. A little bit more breeze has picked up since we started the game about an hour and 25 minutes ago. You'll see the flags are lazily waving out there in center field, blowing almost directly out. Up for the Conejo Oaks First pitch right directly back to DJ Sartorius, and Zach Kamiko is going to be out. One pitch, one out for the Conejo Oaks.
Now batting number 20, Trent McKinney.
Trent McKinney, the right fielder, will make his way to the plate wearing number 20. DJ Sartorius back for his 5th inning of work. A senior from Biola. Definitely going to be getting a lot of innings. Lefty delivers and fires right field side out of play and out of the stadium. 0-1. With the amount of work that Sartorius has been getting during the course of the summer, it looks like Sartorius very well may be one of the pitchers for the playoffs. That pitch is on the inside corner for strike 2. Speaking of pitchers for the playoffs, after last night's game, you'll probably be thinking that Nick Jones out of Georgia Southern, and swing on and miss, gets away from the catcher. I guess the umpire was calling him out before he even scrambled to the open base, so that's a straight strikeout. Brings up Nico Lima. Started the game off batting leadoff, so the lineup turns over once again for the Conejo Oaks. Sartorius delivers outside corner, strike 1. So Sartorius, for the game, 4 2/3 innings, surrendered 4 hits, 1 run, but that 1 run was not earned. Delivery ball low and inside, that's ball 1. No walks today for Sartorius. 2 strikeouts and about 65 pitches or so for the senior out of Biola. And that is another hit. That'll go to the left field. Antonio Cruz cuts it off and brings it back into the infield and holds Lima to a single.
Number 14, Tyler Odekirk.
That brings up Tyler Odekirk, the third baseman from Cal State LA. That hit for Lima is actually his 3rd hit of the day. Outside to Odekirk, ball 1. So of the 5 hits that the Conejo Oaks have recorded, 3 of them have all come off of the bat of Nico Lima. Pretty good day for him already, and he is currently at first base. Popped up, right side, could be out of play, and it looks like it is, directly onto the concourse. And that will be another strike. Tyler Odekirk back in the box. Sartorius trying to get that 3rd out to complete the 5th inning. Checks the runner, Lima. Sartorius wants a new ball. Umpire took a look at it, examined it, said, "This isn't the major leagues. We're going to put it back in the bag and use it again." Sartorius delivers and low and away. And the count goes to 2-1 with 2 outs. Score tied 1-1. 5 hits for the Oaks with an error. 3 hits for the Riptide and 2 errors. That's a grounder to third base. Lipscomb picks it up and makes it easily over to Andre Antone and records the third out for DJ Sartorius. So no damage done for the Conejo Oaks. Brings up the Riptide for the bottom of the fifth. Welcome back to Orange County Great Park, the Great Park Stadium here in Irvine, California. Pinch hitting for Blake Fadul. Left-handed batter Daniel Jung. Jung takes low for ball one. Daniel Jung out of Notre Dame. One of the better hitters for the Riptide this season. He swings on that one, lifts it to left field. And underneath it, Nico Lima records the first out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Now batting from BYU, number 5, Carson Matthews.
Carson Matthews out of BYU, the number 9 hole hitter for the Riptide. His second plate appearance of the day. Matthew rips that one down third base side, just out of the way of third base coach Blair Lucas. Oh and 1. That ball is outside for 1 and 1 with 1 out. Score tied here, 1-1. Riptide batting, looking to take the lead. And that ball is inside corner for strike 2. Ball's low. That'll bring the count even to 2-2. Carson Matthews, coming into the game, was tied for second in plate appearances. Chops that one foul, third base side again. And also was first in stolen bases. Got a timeout so that a ball can be retrieved out of third base side. Two and two the count with 1 out. Carson Matthews playing shortstop. And that ball is low and outside. Runs the count to full. 3-2. Matthews is a fast worker in the fact that he doesn't get out of the box every pitch. That ball is lifted to the right field side, but out of play. And first baseman Castro unable to catch up to it and record a foul out. So Matthews stays alive with 3-2 count, 1 out, nobody on. After Matthews will be Peabody, who turns the lineup over for the Riptide. Ball well outside, and Matthews reaches with a base on balls for the left-handed hitting Michael Peabody.
Now batting from UC Irvine, number 36, Michael Peabody.
So Michael Peabody, the center fielder from UC Irvine. And you heard looks like we may have gotten a foul ball or some sort of something that was overthrown over the field. Some of the kids that were playing in the adjacent field might have had an errant throw go into the field of play, so we had to call it. Center fielder Sandoval had to retrieve it and give it back to the kids. So Peabody will dig in. Left-hander. Torres checks Matthews, the runner. So Torres is the new pitcher, replacing Matera, righty. He's out of Moore Park Junior College. Delivers and fouled directly back to the screen for strike 1. So Torres spent last year on the Moore Park JC roster, but did not play, redshirted. So he'll actually be a second-year player for Moore Park, but will actually be using up his first year of freshman eligibility. Peabody lifts this one directly into the air. Looks like the center fielder, right fielder are losing it in the sun, and it will drop in front of center fielder Sandoval. And Peabody is safe. Matthews is safe at second base. And unfortunately for Sandoval and also Lima, they couldn't catch it with the sun out, and that one drops in there for a hit. Brings up Trey Lipscomb.
Looks like he lost it from the very beginning.
So Trey Lipscomb comes to the plate. So with 1 out and 2 men on, Lipscomb looks to do some damage and rips that one right down the first base side. Matthews will come around easily, stand up, and Lipscomb gets a double and brings in Peabody standing up. And the Riptide score 2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting from UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
Dylan Rock back up for his 3rd plate appearance. And with a man in scoring position, this is an outstanding opportunity for Rock to continue his hot streak. We mentioned previously about Rock's home run in the bottom of the 1st last night against the Academy Barons. So Torres delivers and strike 1. Rock played into the game not just by his home run, but also he actually hit the walk-off RBI single that brought around Michael Peabody from second base to win the game in the bottom of the 9th. So pretty good day for Dylan Rock yesterday. Next pitch is in there for strike 2. Rock asked the umpire where exactly was that one. And it doesn't even look like the umpire wanted to answer him. He might have been ashamed himself. Rock asks for time, backs out. So Rock digs in, gets very, very close to the plate, crowds the plate quite a bit. Not afraid to get hit. Pitch is up and popped in the air. Could be a problem. Everybody's holding their arms up like they can't find it, and it now drops in for another single for Dylan Rock, who's threatening to take second. And now Lipscomb stands on third, Rock on first.
Now batting from UC Irvine, number 30, Andre Antone.
Brings up first baseman Andre Antone from UC Irvine. I don't know if the Conejo Oaks left their sunglasses at home, or the sun is just brighter today, or the bill of their caps don't offer shade. I don't know what's going on, but that's two definite pop-ups that could have easily been caught, and the inning is only one out. So Andre Antone takes a pitch low for ball one. With second base unoccupied, that means that Dylan Rock has another stolen base opportunity here. And ball high, ball two. We mentioned earlier when we had this same situation, runner on third, runner on first, and less than 2 outs. That's a ball low for ball three. So 3-0. Looks like Andre Antone might be taking all the way. However, with the type of power that Andre has, Chris Torres, the right-hander for the Conejo Oaks, better be real careful about not sending up a big fat one right across the plate, because Andre could get the green light and go on it. That's 4 straight pitches for Chris Torres to load up the bases. That'll bring up Max Ferguson out of University of Tennessee.
Tennessee, number 3, Max Ferguson.
Ferguson in the DH spot today. So Ferguson does play quite a few positions for the Riptide. Delivery from Torres taken for, technically it's ball one, but we're going to call it ball 5 because 4 straight pitches to Antone put him on. So ball 5. Torres delivers again, and that one is ripped foul. Right field side, and Torres gets a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Riptide leading 3-1. 6 hits to Conejo's 5 hits with 1 run on the board. We have 1 out, bases juiced, and Max Ferguson at the plate. Torres fires. This one goes directly to second baseman, goes for second base, and unable to get the runner at first. Ferguson is safe. Antone is called out at second, but that brings home Trey Lipscomb.
Now batting from Rice University, number 1, Antonio Cruz.
That brings home Lipscomb, runs the score to 4-1. Now with 2 outs, Dylan Rock on third base, Ferguson on first. Catcher Kamenko giving the defensive signals for the Conejo Oaks. And Antonio Cruz, who does have power, has a couple of home runs on the season. Antonio Cruz takes ball up high for ball 1. Torres fires and well outside, and a back pick to the first base side. Ferguson back in time. Antonio Cruz has a 2-0 count. So Antonio Cruz actually comes from a long lineage of baseball players. Pitch delivered and swung on and missed for strike one. Cruz's dad is Jose Cruz Jr., who played, I want to say 12 years in the majors for a number of different teams, was a Gold Glover. Pitch is delivered, and that is hit right in between shortstop and third base. Ferguson rounding to third and is thrown out, but not before Dylan Rock will score the run. He crossed home plate before Ferguson was thrown out at third base. But that ends the inning with the Riptide scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th with 7 hits. They lead 5-1. We'll be back with the top of the 6th with the Conejo Oaks coming to bat. Welcome back to Orange County Great Park here at the Great Park Stadium in Irvine, California. DJ Sartorius still on the mound and just delivered his 69th pitch after going 5 complete. Sartorius delivers. That's popped directly in the air. Peabody coming on, has a beat on it, and that is out number 1. Peabody has actually made quite a number of plays out there in the outfield to catch the ball, putting out a number of outs. So Jacob Castro recorded that first out for the Conejo Oaks. Brings up Ryan Yamashiro, who's the designated hitter. He takes the first pitch, chops it foul, third base side, 0-1. If Devin Sartorius is able to get out of this inning, it looks like he might be at the end of his pitch count. Might want to save him a little bit for the potential of the playoffs. Ball skips in there inside ball 1. 1-1 with 1 out. Score currently is 5-1 with the Riptide leading. No check swing, makes it 2-1. So of the 5 hits that the Conejo Oaks have been able to record, they've come via 2 players. 3, Nico Lima. Oh, that one's ripped. Well hit to left field, and replacing Antonio Cruz in left field is Chad Crosby out of the University of Miami. 2 away.
Number 4, Raul Sandoval.
Raul Sandoval, the center fielder, comes back up to the plate. But based on past history here, it's not Lima and it's not Castro who've been the 2 that makes the most damage for the Conejo Oaks Castro has 2 hits, and Lima has 3 hits for the 5 combined hits for the Conejo Oaks. Pitch is inside, ball 1. Warming up in the Conejo Oaks bullpen is Kyle Nickel. Sartorius in there for a strike, 1-1. So outside of Lima and Castro, the rest of the team for the Conejo Oaks, 0-15. 3 of them striking out. Sartorius off speed, and that is in there for strike 2. A little bit of defensive alignment and changes for the Riptide in between the inning. Chad Crosby is in left. Peabody stays in center. Dylan Rock remains in right field. Sartorius delivers low, and that is ball 2. 2-2, 2 outs, with the score 5-1 in favor of the Riptide. Daniel Jung, who came in and pinch hit, moves to first base. That'll push Andre Antone over to third base. Pitch in the dirt. Full count, 3-2 with 2 outs. Carson Matthews stays at second base. Will stay at shortstop, and then moving over to second base from third, Trey Lipscomb. Eric Pagani out of UNLV is still behind the plate, and DJ Sartorius on the mound here in the top of the 6th. Delivers, popped up. That looks like it might be an easy play for Dylan Rock, who's underneath it, and records the 3rd out of the top of the 6th inning. So no damage, nobody reached base, and DJ Sartorius gets out of that one clean, leading 5-1, heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be right back. Leading off the bottom of the 6th, catcher Eric Pagani. He will face a new pitcher for the Conejo Oaks, Kyle Nickel, right-hander. Went to Glendale City College. And first pitch, broken bat, grounder to second base. Gomez delivers on to Castro. And 1 pitch, 1 out. Should be of note that in the bottom of the 5th,
Number 11, Daniel Jung.
Daniel Jung pinch hit and led off that inning that ended up resulting in 4 runs. Pagani was the only batter to not participate in that bottom of the 5th inning. So the man who started off last inning comes up to bat with 1 out, Daniel Jung out of Notre Dame. Sidearm delivery outside, and 1-0. So Kyle Nickel, the right-hander for Conejo, mentioned he is out of Glendale JC. Jung lifts that one into the air, center field. Looks like sunglasses are in place, and the center fielder, Sandoval, was able to take that one in without throwing his hands up and looking for help, much like last inning. So Jung is retired.
Number 5, Carson Matthews.
Carson Matthews out of BYU comes to the plate, right-handed hitter. Nickel is committed to go to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, so he'll be playing for the Mustangs. And first pitch is outside, 1-0. Cal Poly plays in the Big West Conference. And ball is outside and 2-0. So not too far of a trip for Kyle Nickel and his parents if they want to come up and catch him for a game, especially being up there in the Santa Clarita Valley. Matthews grounds softly to the shortstop, delivers across to first baseman Castros. And that is your classic 6-3 put out, 3 up, 3 down. And the Riptide go down in order. No hits, no runs, no errors. But they still lead 5-1 heading to the top of the 7th. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the top of the 7th inning. We're just 2 hours into our ball game. Started at noon. It's now 2 o'clock here on the West Coast. We do have a pitching change for the Orange County Riptide from Texas Tech left-hander Justin Lewis. First pitch from Lewis. That is to Ramon Gomez, the second baseman out of Oxnard College, for strike 1. Lewis kicks and fires. Next pitch is fouled off third base side. Quickly 0-2. So final line on starter DJ Sartorius. 6 complete innings, only 5 hits, 1 run, although it was unearned. No walks, 3 strikeouts. That ball is hit to left field and is hooking foul Or was it off the wall? It stayed in play, so it looked like it was off the wall foul. And just a very, very loud non-strike for Justin Lewis, who escapes that one. And Andre Antone will definitely put that one in the dugout. And Justin Lewis gets a different ball because that one might be jinxed. So final line on DJ Sartorius. Notable, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Got a lot of his players behind him involved. Lewis delivers again. Chopped up the middle to shortstop Matthews, on to Daniel Jung, and records out number 1. Sartorius threw 80 pitches. And of note, of those 80 pitches, 53 of them were for strikes. So pretty decent outing for DJ Sartorius. He leaves with the lead 5-1 in the top of the 7th and is in position to be the game winner. Lewis delivers, and an attempt bunt gets past Will Pickett's, the shortstop, and the count is 0-1. Justin Lewis, out of Texas Tech, was a junior college player before he went to Texas Tech, delivers outside for a ball. Played his junior college ball at Midland, in Midland, Texas. Originally from the Dallas area, kicks and fires again. That one is grounded foul. Andre Antone will pick that one up and goes back into the dugout for that. 1-2, 1 out. Justin Lewis on the mound. Lewis is ready and delivers, comes inside, and the ball just dribbles past Pagani for ball number 2. 2-2 with 1 out. So Lewis is actually rehabbing a shoulder surgery. That ball is lifted to right field. Looks like it will drop fair, and that looks like it will be a double for Will Pickett's. Dylan Rock delivers it in to Carson Matthews, but not in time. And Pickett's is in there with a double.
Now batting number 7, Zach Camico.
Brings up Zach Camico, catcher out of West Texas A&M. So Lewis is rehabbing a labrum shoulder surgery. He actually did not pitch all last year. He did what's known in NCAA as a gray shirt. So Lewis delivers a little bit high, and that's ball 1 to Camico. So Lewis came on to the Texas Tech campus after his surgery, delivers, and a little bit inside, that's ball 2. But because he was coming off of an injury, he wasn't on the 35-man roster, although he was a part of the team, knows all the guys that are on the team, but wasn't allowed to participate in any team activities because he was an injured player, and that's what gray shirting is. That was across the front end corner for strike 1, 2-1. So it was quite interesting with Justin Lewis out here, host family, watching his team. That's a ball that's delivered, struck foul, right field side. But it was interesting during the College World Series with the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the College World Series. Along with Dylan Rock, Justin Lewis is one of the players that we do host while out here with the Riptide. It's kind of interesting watching that game. Directly back up off of Lewis's glove, deflected to Trey Lipscomb, who gets it over to Jung in time, and that is out number 2. Lewis goes over to Trey and says, "Thanks for saving me on that one. That could have been ugly by slowing that ball down." But Lipscomb, being a fantastic athlete, was able to gobble that one up and get it over to Jung at first base. Brings up Trent McKinney. right fielder. He's the number 9 hole hitter for the Conejo Oaks, trailing 5-1 here in the top of the 7th. Lewis delivers and swung on and miss. That looked like Lewis's slider for strike 1. But it was interesting sitting on the couch watching some of the College World Series games that involved Texas Tech and having Lewis give us the inside scoop. Runner goes, bounces right in front of the plate, and that allows the runner to advance to third. 2 outs, so no sacrifice fly available here. So if Lewis can get Trent McKinney out with a ground ball, he can get out of the inning without any damage. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 for Trent McKinney. And Lewis is up 1-2. Will Pickett's the shortstop out of Cal State Bakersfield, currently on third base. And the ball bounces in front of the plate and gets away from Magani, and Pickett's will score easily on the wild pitch and brings the score to 5-2 with the Riptide leading. So you probably saw Lewis stretching out that left arm of his, and that's swing and a miss, strike 3. So Lewis allows 1 to cross, but does get out of the inning with only 1 across. Riptide lead 5-2 heading to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to Great Park Stadium here in Irvine, California at the Irvine Great Park. Pinch hitting for leadoff hitter and center fielder Michael Peabody. Connor Obie out of the University of Texas Arlington swings at the first pitch, and it's strike 1. Bottom of the 7th. Riptide lead 5-2. Next pitch inside from the side armor, Nickel. And the count will run to 1-1. Obie gets a hold of that one, but it looks like it's going to hook high and foul to the left side and out of play. Count 1-2, no outs with Obie leading off at the bottom of the 7th. Peabody's day is done. Made some nice plays out there in the outfield despite the midday sun. Obie takes delivery and fouls directly back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. If you were with us earlier, you noticed that in the bottom of the fifth, when the Riptide were batting, routine pop flies that were in the shallow infield, the Conejo Oak players out in the outfield seemed confused, blinded. Obi lifts that one high, but it looks like it will stay in the park. That settles into the glove of Lima out there in left field, and that will be out number one. Connor Obi heads back to the dugout.
University of Tennessee, number 23, Trey Lipscomb.
Trey Lipscomb, who made a nice play the top of the seventh inning to save Justin Lewis. Comebacker, Justin Lewis reached his glove out, but it went off the edge of it. But Lipscomb's athleticism took over and was able to grab that ball and get it over to first baseman Jung. Trey Lipscomb out of the University of Tennessee swings at the first offering from Nickel for strike one. 0-1 with one out. Riptide leading 5-2, bottom of the seventh. Chops that one back to the mound. Could be trouble, and the speedy Lipscomb is going to beat that one out. Errant throw goes into right field, and Lipscomb easily cruises into second base. So we'll give an error to the catcher, Conejo.
Now batting from UT San Antonio, number 22, Dylan Rock.
Dylan Rock comes up for his fourth plate appearance.
E2, right? Yeah. No, E1. E1 is pitcher.
So we'll make that correction. It wasn't the catcher who made the error. It was actually the pitcher who delivered that one. First offering from Nickel is a strike on the outside corner to Dylan Rock. So if you've been watching the Riptide, or if you know how Dylan Rock takes his at-bats, if he doesn't put it in play for this one, we'll be able to point something out to you. Nickel delivers and fouled off, and now it's 0-2. So watch Dylan Rock. After each at-bat, he steps out, he taps the front of his shoes and does a half swing. Every time. That's his routine. Now, if anybody ever puts a limit on how many times you can step in and out of the box, he's going to have to come up with a new routine, because every single time he steps out. And swing and miss, that's strike three for Dylan Rock. And he is retired for the second out in the bottom of the seventh. Andre Antone will make his way to the plate.
Now batting from UC Irvine, number 30, Andre Antone.
Antone got a little bit of a scouting report from Rock on the way up to the plate. Probably giving him some insight on type of pitches and velocity. Outside corner, strike one. Antone shook his head briefly in a little bit of disagreement. A little bit of a funky delivery from Nickel, and the fact that his arm angle is almost sidearm. Looks like Andre Antone got under that one, and that will settle in. Lima was able to make that one. Quick 1-2-3 inning with Trey Lipscomb reaching base. But 3 outs, no runs scored. Score remains 5-2 with the Riptide leading. Conejo Oaks coming to bat in the top of the 8th.
13, Nico Lima.
Nico Lima, number 13, left fielder out of Oxnard College for the Conejo Oaks. Coming up for his 4th at bat. He's currently 3 for 3, has done the most damage for the Oaks. Justin Lewis still in, and let's make that 4 for 4 for Mr. Lima. First pitch, right, the left-hand side of the mound.
Now batting number 14, Tyler Odeker.
So Tyler Odeker comes up, no outs. Nico Lima on first base. Just mentioned that Lima has gone 4 for 4 on the day. So Odeker looking to add a little bit of runs. So Lewis in, lefty on right-handed batter matchup. And that one is outside and low for ball 1. If you were with us last inning, Connor Obi came in and pinch hit for Michael Peabody. He takes over for Peabody in center field. Obi is out of the University of Texas at Arlington. Obi also played in the Prospects game. Lewis delivers. That is inside, but not on the plate. 2-0. So the defensive alignment stays the same from last inning, with the exception of Obi coming in at center field. Chad Crosby, University of Miami, left fielder. Obi in center, right fielder Dylan Rock. Daniel Jung, Notre Dame, first base. Andre Lidscomb, University of Tennessee, second base. Carson Massey, BYU at short. Lewis delivers outside, ball 3. Andre Antone, third base, out of the University of California, Irvine. Behind the plate, Eric Wagani from UNLV. And Justin Lewis, left-hander from Texas Tech on the mound. Lewis delivers again, high, and that is ball 4. So a hit and a walk, and Conejo has something cooking here in the top of the 8th.
24, Jacob Castro.
Brings up Jacob Castro, who's got 2 hits on the day as well. So Castro in a great position. He's apparently seeing the ball pretty well today, to the tune of 2 hits. But to his disadvantage, he's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. But to his credit, he's got 2 hits off of the previous lefty, which was DJ Sartorius. So apparently the lefty-on-lefty matchup doesn't bother him. Lewis, ball 1. Looking for the outside, but not able to find it. Three umpires for today's game. Last night actually had 4. That is a strike on the outside corner for Lewis. And the count runs to 1-1, no outs. Conejo trailing 5-2, but 2 men on and nobody out. Lewis delivers again, and that is actually behind the batter, Castro. Obviously, not intentionally throwing at the guy, nothing malicious. With Lewis and his rehabbing of his shoulder, his intent for being out here in California is just get that shoulder better and get some innings. Fouled away, left side, out of play. 2-2 is the count. In the Orange County Riptide bullpen, Andrew Davis, another Texas Tech player, is warming. Lewis delivers well outside into the outside of the right-handed batter's box, and the count goes to full, 3-2. So Lewis actually has 4 scars on his left shoulder after undergoing surgery for that labrum injury he had. That one's chopped foul right in front of Bagani, who gets it over to Jung at first base. Both Lima and Odekirk will advance to third and second, respectively, but Lewis gets the first out of the top of the eighth. So Ryan Yamashiro, he's the DH. He hasn't had a hit today, but he does have two men in scoring position and does have a sacrifice fly opportunity in front of him. Lewis's pitch is outside for ball one. Yamashiro, the designated hitter out of Cal Lutheran. Lewis delivers and swung on and miss. And that is strike one. 1-1, one out. With the time, 2:22. Lewis delivers again outside ball two. Riptide just need to get 5 more outs to secure another California Collegiate League win. Lewis comes inside. That cuts the inside corner, and that will be a 2-2. 2 more outs in the top of the eighth. And 3 more in the top of the ninth, and the Lewis will get away, or the Riptide will get away with a victory. So Obi's got a beat on this one to center, settles in under it, sacrifice fly opportunity, and Lima will come in easily, touches home plate for the third run of the day for the Conejo Oaks. Odekirk tagged at second. He advances to third. So lead trimmed. Just a 2-run lead for the Orange County Riptide. So it looks like Lewis's day is done. Clemente Bonilla comes out, grabs the ball from Justin Lewis, and it looks like Andrew Davis will come in relief. This will give us an opportunity to let you know that you can follow and keep up with the Orange County Riptide on all things Riptide on social media. Just search for OC Riptide on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, maybe you didn't know, the Orange County Riptide have a podcast that you can find on Spotify and also on iTunes. It's called The Rip Current. Just search for in Spotify or in iTunes, Rip Current, to stay current on all things OC Riptide. In for Justin Lewis is Texas Tech right-hander Andrew Davis.
Pitching from Texas Tech, number 47, Andrew Davis.
We'll step aside for a little bit, let him get some warm-up pitches in, and we'll pick it back up with 2 outs to go in the top of the eighth. Making his way to the plate, number 4, center fielder Raul Sandoval out of Oxnard College. He will face Andrew Davis with 2 outs and a runner on third base. Justin Lewis came in for just a couple outs. Actually, grand total of about 5 outs. But was lifted before he could complete the top of the 8th. So Davis gets a strike to open up the batter. Davis fires again. That one was good enough for the inside corner. Strike 2. Davis this summer has pitched 11 and 2/3 innings. Fortunately has a 7.58 ERA with 16 strikeouts but 11 walks. That one's lifted right field side and out of play. We'll do it again, 0-2 with 2 outs. Davis does have a bit of velocity. He does run an 88 to 90 mile an hour fastball. Not a starter, has been pitching in relief while here with the Riptide. So Davis checks the runner at third and delivers. That one's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the Oaks were able to score 1 here in the top of the 8th, trim the lead, trail by 2 runs, 5-3. Davis delivers again. That one's upstairs. And now the count is 2-2 with 2 outs. Check on the runner again, and Davis goes outside corner. And Bagani knew it before the umpire could even call it, and so did Raul Sandoval. He lazily makes his way back to the dugout knowing that was a strike 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th with the Riptide coming up to bat, leading 5-3. We'll be right back.
Now batting from the University of Tennessee, number 3, Max Ferguson.
Designated hitter Max Ferguson comes to the plate here to open up the bottom of the 8th. He will face Kyle Nickel. He is a JC transfer that is committed to go to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo for the 2020 season. Max Ferguson out of the University of Tennessee. Lefty on righty, and outside, catcher Kamiko couldn't even frame that one. It was so far outside. Ball 1. Chad Crosby out of the University of Miami is on deck. He came in as a defensive replacement. That's a strike. The count will go to 1-1. So Crosby will get his first at bat of the day, despite playing a couple of innings out there in left field in relief of Antonio Cruz, who was batting in the 6th spot. Nickel goes outside for ball 2. So 2-1 to Max Ferguson with nobody out. Ferguson chops it to first, and that is an easy out. Right directly to first baseman Castro, who records the out unassisted. Now we get to see Crosby for his
from the University of Miami, number 7, Chad Crosby.
first plate appearance for Chad Crosby out of the University of Miami. Despite going all the way over to Coral Gables, playing for the historic Hurricanes program, Crosby is a local guy out of Mission Viejo. So it must be nice to be able to play for an out-of-the-area team, college, but sleep in your own bed at night while out here for the summer. Kind of nice to live where other people vacation. Up in the bullpen for the Conejo Oaks, if Nickel decides to get into trouble, they could bring in Peyton Ebel. So he is up and warming. Nickel delivers outside batter's box 1-0 to Crosby. Outside corner, strike 1 to Chad Crosby. So 1-1 count to Chad Crosby. And speaking of bullpen activity, we have a little bit of activity in the Riptide bullpen as well. Crosby rips that one foul left field side out of play, out of the stadium. And the count is 1-2. Tanner King is currently warming up in the Riptide bullpen. King is a starter typically, but might want to get him some relief coming up because with the limited amount of games that we do have, I want to get him some work. Crosby rips that one to right field line. That's going to be fair into the corner, and Crosby's going to leg out a double easily. Stand up. No laundry for the Crosby family tonight. So that will bring up Chris O'Bort from Hawaii Hilo. So remember how we told you about
From Hawaii Hilo, number 38, Chris O'Bort.
Remember how we told you about guys going away to college far away, but coming home to play for the Riptide as a local guy? Here is example number 2. Chris O'Bort out of the University of Hawaii Hilo. Swings and misses at strike 1. O'Bort can play first base and also outfield. He's used quite frequently as a pinch runner. Got some wheels on him. He swings and misses on that one for strike 2. So he's had 31 plate appearances for the Riptide and batting 161. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. We'll see if O'Bort can break out of that. He lifts that one to left field. Looks like it's not going to be any trouble for left fielder Lima. And we've got 2 away. Crosby's still on second base. So the power hitting Daniel Jung out of the University of Notre Dame comes to the plate.
Now batting from Notre Dame, number 11, Daniel Jung.
Daniel Jung with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish green shoes, green batting gloves. And just as soon as I said power hitting Daniel Jung, he gets a base on balls without even throwing one of them.
Batting from BYU, number 5, Carson Matthews.
Daniel Jung, definitely the threat that Nickel did not want to face. So he gets the free pass. Now the bases. We've got Jung at first and Chad Crosby at second. Carson Matthews from BYU, he's the shortstop. He comes up to the plate. Way outside. And that is ball one to open up the at-bat for Carson Matthews. The wind has picked up a bit from when we started this game about 2.5 hours ago. Matthews swings and misses on the next offering, and that makes it 1-1. So if Matthews is able to reach base safely, we've got Obi coming up, Connor Obi, and that's a strike, strike two. Connor Obi out of UT Arlington will come to the plate. He's currently on deck. Bottom of the eighth, 5-3, Riptide leading. Way outside. Kamenko had to nearly jump out of the box, out of the circle, to prevent that one from going back to the back screen and allowing the two runners to advance easily. So Matthews with a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Nickel delivers and chopped foul, third base side. Let's do it again, 2-2. So Carson Matthews is coming into the game, is batting .248. He was one of the prospect players that the Riptide were able to send. So since the All-Star and / prospect game has been going on in the CCL, the 9 players that the Riptide sent was a team record for the most players that the Riptide have contributed to that game. That ball bends off of Matthews' hit and comes right across the plate. That thing was nasty. That ends the inning. Strikeout for Carson Matthews looking. Nobody was able to score on that inning. We'll go to the top of the 9th. Riptide lead 5-3. Welcome back to the top of the 9th. Conejo Oaks trailing the Orange County Riptide here at Great Park Stadium in Irvine, California, here at the Great Park. Pitching change, Tanner King, right-hander, delivers ball 1 to Ramon Gomez. second baseman out of Oxnard College. Tanner King works quickly, goes outside corner, strike one. Tanner King, right-hander, newly committed to University of Texas Arlington. Gets a swing and a miss out of Gomez, and that's 1-2. King on the year. He actually spent 2 years junior college in Kansas. That one's lifted to center field. Obi is back. It's over his head. That's going to get through the gap. And Obi's going to bring it into the infield. And Gomez, stand-up double. So King, junior college player, was playing in Kansas for a junior college called Seward County. But for this summer, King's got 2 2/3 innings coming in, a 6.10 ERA, 27 strikeouts, 3 walks, but his strikeout to base on balls ratio leads the Riptide with 9. So first delivery to Will Pickett's is a strike. Nobody out. Man on second. Man in scoring position. Conejo trying to scratch and claw their way back. King delivers outside for ball 1. Behind the plate, Josh Solomon out of Columbia University. He replaces Eric Pagani. And Pickett's chops that one foul, third base side. 1-2 count. So not too many different replacements for the Conejo Hoaks. Haven't seen them pinch hit, pinch run, or even any kind of defensive replacements whatsoever for the Oaks. King gets a pop out to first base. Jung goes over the first base side, is able to record that in foul territory. And that is the first out of the top of the 9th. Conejo Oaks down to just 2 outs to try to get 2 runs. Zach Kamenko, catcher, West Texas A&M, comes into the plate. With a man on second, that's Ramon Gomez. Kamenko takes the delivery from King. That's outside, 1-0. Wind now blowing directly left to right. So the afternoon breeze has definitely picked up. That ball is low for ball 2. So any of the left-handed batters could get a little wind-aided. A little bit of wind underneath that ball if they're able to get it up high enough. King delivers and fouled straight back. 2-1. So day game today. Call it a getaway game, getaway day, because the Riptide are going to go on the road, and they're actually going to be making the longest road trip. Swing and a miss, and throw into center field by Solomon will allow Gomez to advance to third. Unfortunately, Lipscomb was looking for the throw across the bag and then had to go across his body, and it went into center field. So Gomez advances. So now we've got a sacrifice fly opportunity for Kamenko. King delivers, and that goes right field side. Andre Antone's there to fire it across. Pulls Jung off the bag, and that will score Gomez. Now we've got a 5-4 ball game. Making a little bit interesting here with one out.
How about number 33, Bailey Holbrook?
So we've got a pinch hitter, first pinch hitter for the Oaks, Bailey Holbrook. He's pinch hitting for Trent McKinney. So run across game 5-4. King delivers and a swing and a miss. That's strike one. So the throw from Andre Antone pulled Jung off the bag. The run was going to score no matter what, but it could have been 2 outs instead of just 1, and that's a foul ball off to the screen, and it's 0-2. So a little bit of life here in the Conejo Oaks to be able to try to extend this one, at least tie it, send it to maybe the bottom of the 9th and see if the Riptide can do nothing and send it to extras. Oh, almost napping on the first base side. Lazily walking off, and King tried to pick him off, but he got back in time. So that's ripped down the first base side. That's foul. And it'll remain down there in the corner until somebody decides to go pick it up. King with the 0-2 count delivers. That goes through the hole in between first and second. And we've got another base hit with 2 Conejo Oaks on base. Still only 1 out.
Number 13,
Nico Lima,
It's not the guy you want.
the Riptide killer, gone 4 for 4 today. And now he's got a man in scoring position and another man on first. So if you're going to write the Hollywood script, this is not the guy you want up if you're an Orange County Riptide fan. King delivers, foul ball, strike one. Riptide can still get out of the inning with an inning, a game-winning double play, depending on where the ball is placed. If King is able to keep the ball in the infield, delivers, and a swing and a miss, strike 2, right through that. So Lima in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Just one nice, easy ground ball and no errors. Riptide can escape this close one. And that's a strike 3. And Lima goes down for the first time today and swings right through it. So we got 2 outs. Tyler Odekirk comes to the plate. He is their third baseman out of Cal State LA. And now Altaner King just needs an out. Strikeout, fly out, ground out. You name the out, we'll take it. Strike 1. Because of the score coming into this game, I believe Tanner King is in a position to earn a save. That one was a little bit low, and we'll call it a ball. 1-1 with 2 outs. So King did enter the game, has faced the minimum number of batters in order to be in a position for the save. So 2-1 is the count. If Tanner King is able to hold on and keep the score as it remains. This would be his second save of the season. Delivery and low, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on base for the Conejo Oaks, with Tyler Odekirk at the plate. Kicks and fires inside. That's ball 4. And now we've got the bases loaded. Brings up another Riptide killer, Jacob Castro.
Number 24, Jacob Castro.
So Castro has multiple hits on the day as well. But if things stand to form, Lima was 4 for 4 and struck out. Maybe Castro, who's been having early success, will also strike out as well. So King delivers. That one's delivered right to the left field side, and Chad Crosby caught it. Chad Crosby from the University of Miami lays out, saves an assured run, and the OC Riptide end up winning the ball game. So the scoreboard totals are correct. The Conejo Oaks, 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The home team, OC Riptide, 5 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you watching us here on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Look up OC Riptide. Also, don't forget to listen to our podcast, the Rip Current podcast, available on Spotify and on iTunes.